Welcome back to Inverted Aviators RC. What we have here today is hopefully the version 1 solution to one of the most annoying parts of head tracking FPV, and that is the reusability of parts in between planes when you're at the field. Now, I've seen a lot of videos out with people who have this O3 Air Unit, the B.A.G gimbal system, which is awesome. They have all of these different components in every single plane they have, or if they don't, it's not that easy to just rip it out and put it into your new plane, especially when you're at the field. Now, my goal of this was to make a system that's easily to plug into a plane and have all of the wires already out of the way. You don't have to go plug in 100 different things. Everything is already encapsulated in this little system and you're good to go. So for example, I've got the O3 Air Unit, the B.A.G gimbal, and then a power distribution board, a fan, hopefully things that keep this cool. And I've got a canopy bottom here for an RV7 from E-flite. I'll show it on screen what it looks like, but here's the canopy, here is the bottom base, and if I wanted to go fly this plane, all I'd have to do is click in the gimbal up here, click in the VTX at the back, and just like that, I'm ready to go fly. I've got power here, I've got these two servo channels here, give pan and tilt, then power to the camera comes through the VTX, and then through the bottom, I've got powering to the fan via an XT30, power to the O3 Air Unit through this XT30 right here. And then at the bottom, I have a Matek UBEC Duo. Now, why did I use that board? Well, there is a 12-volt pad on the top, which is awesome to power the fan in the O3 Air Unit because the O3 Air Unit needs 7 to 26 volts. And that is exactly what we need. Now, not only does it have a 12-volt pad, it also has a 5-volt pad. So when I want to power any other peripherals like the servos or a receiver, I could also power it through this pad. Now, what's even cooler about it is that this has a PWM input pads, which takes a channel input from a receiver and it can toggle on and off this 12-volt pad. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's say I'm at the field and it's not my turn to take off yet, and I'm sitting there, I'm wasting battery, I'm heating up this O3 Air Unit because it's getting hot, but I could turn that 12-volt input completely off and I would only be running the 5-volt input. So I can wait on the runway without burning up any extra battery. My O3 Air Unit stays completely off. And when it's my turn to fly, I can flip a switch, the Air Unit turns on, the fan turns on, and this whole system is ready to go without wasting any battery. Then as we work our way up this stack, we have really cool custom 3D printed parts, which allows for airflow up through the bottom. And then we have a 40 by 40 by 10 millimeter fan, which is blowing air straight up through our O3 Air Unit, keeping everything nice and cool. And then we also have, you can see a stack here, which is an adapter for our O3 Air Unit so that we can take the screws that mount into the Air Unit and then stick them straight to the stack of this. So you can see there is the O3 Air Unit through the fan, through this bottom base plate, and it sandwiches everything together, keeping it really sturdy, nice in place. And then there also is an adapter that goes up and goes across these heat sinks to keep everything nice and in place. And the idea is the fan blows air through the Air Unit, through the heat sink, and then it whisks it away, keeping it cool. And again, everything is nice and compact. And I guess you do have to screw in, there's a screw hole here and 2 screw holes up here that just keep everything secure and in place. Now, the few things I was trying to accomplish with this version 1 model is keeping it as light as possible, keeping it easy to change in between planes, and most importantly, keep this Air Unit cool through the entire time. Now, if you have no heatsink, no fan, this Air Unit will turn off in a couple minutes if you're running at 4K 60 frames a second. Now, that's not good enough. If we stick that in a plane, we're not going to want to fly for 2 minutes at a time before the camera turns off because it gets too hot. That doesn't make any sense. Now, when we add this 40 by 40 by 10 millimeter fan at the bottom blowing air up and the heatsink up top, I've got it to stay on for over 6 minutes before it tells me it's too hot and it shuts off. I'm not going to consider that a win yet because I don't want it to turn off ever if I'm flying. I want this system to keep everything nice and cold. I want to fly as long as I want, and I don't want it to ever turn off. So in this version 1, I'm going to consider that a fail. I thought it was really cool, but it just didn't work yet. I'm not going to say, oh, it's going to work, it'll be fine, because I did the testing on the bench. I was running this at 4K 60 frames a second. I was looking around with the gimbal and it does look really cool. I'll show it on screen. I was looking at a timer and it shuts off at about 6 minutes. That's not quite good enough, but it is good enough for the V1 of this project, because I still want to test it. I still want to iterate on it. The next thing, can I keep it as light as possible? So if I take it off, again, this is super easy to go from plane to plane, and then this would be custom for whatever plane you're flying. We also have our logo in there, really cool. But keeping it as light as possible. So if I bring in our scale here and I pop this guy on there, we can see this whole system comes in at about 146 grams, which I think is super light given that the O3 Air Unit is already kind of heavy. So keeping everything else relatively light was super nice. You can also see all these little screws and everything in here. It might be possible to reduce a little bit of weight by taking out these screws, but I wanted everything to be nice, compact, tight, and really solid in this whole system. Let me just pause really quick. I keep saying this is my V1 version of this, but that doesn't mean this was my first attempt. I've actually tried a lot already with this first version. As you can see, I've got quite a few different fails in the past. Let's see. This one was too bulky. This one was too tight on the tolerances. This one, the threaded inserts melted off and these tolerances were too small. This one wasn't good enough for the 3D or for the threaded inserts. And again, tolerance is too small. These parts didn't print well, so you can see there's no holes through it. Too bulky, parts didn't fit. This is actually a different iteration of it. I wanted to slide in like this for the camera, but that means I would waste this much space, so I kind of scrapped that idea to try it again. Another bad iteration, I don't even know. This was the other part from the B.A.G gimbal. I wanted to use that. Didn't really fit with what I wanted. Again, a sliding thing that I thought would work and then didn't. This was when I didn't want to use any extra screws, so I made these parts, but it didn't actually screw together that well. This part just broke right away. The tolerances weren't working well. It was cool. I was going to add magnets. Didn't work in the end. Print was bad. Print was too big, too bulky, weighed too much. You can see print just didn't work. And all these other parts that just didn't work. And now, remember, when you're doing stuff, there is no progress without failure. And that's pretty much what I did here. I failed over and over and over and over and over again, even on these big bulky parts like this nice looking part to the RV7. Yeah, there was this iteration before which the tolerances were too small, and then this one before which just didn't work at all. So I failed a lot, and that's part of the whole program, and I really like this aspect of quick failures to get something that actually works. So if you're doing something yourself, and I call this the V1, this isn't attempt 1. This is attempt probably 40, but I finally got something that works, and I'm excited about that. So if you're building something yourself, it's okay to fail. You might waste a little bit of PLA, but in the long run, it's super fun. So stick with it. All right, let's get back to it. So this is the V1. When I move to a V2, there's a couple of ideas I already have. I want to turn this fan from going straight up through the bottom to up on its side, because I want this fan to also blow across this heatsink, which would not only pull heat away from this air unit by going across, it would keep the air unit cool, the heatsink cool, and it would also maybe take away a little bit of this vertical height, which kind of gets in the way. I can maybe squish things down a little bit. So that is at least the idea behind the version 1 of this all-inclusive removable head tracking system, because I want to use this. I think it's super cool, but it's just not quite there yet because it's not keeping the O3 Air Unit cool enough. So let me know what other things you think I should change about it. If you want to do this yourself and print it out, you totally can. I'll put all of these parts up on our Thingiverse account. There are M2 screws that I use and M2 bolts, as well as M2 threaded inserts are all of the different things I use, especially in this base here. I use a little bit of threaded inserts just to make sure all of these screws stay in place. But let me know what else I can change about this system to make it really easy to go from plane to plane, from system to system, and have one set of air unit, gimbal, and everything else included that you can just go, I'm ready to fly, and you just go. So that is at least the version 1. So thank you so much for watching. This has been Inverted Aviators RC. Please reach out with any ideas. Also, if you want to support these ideas, these projects, and the channel, we do have a membership program going, and thank you so much to our current members. You guys are the reason we're able to do these fun projects. So Thank you so much for watching. This has been Inverted Aviators RC, and make sure to check out the future iterations, the V2 of this project, because I can't wait to get started on it. So thanks for watching.